this is the advanced section. We're calling it the advanced section because there's internal trim pot manipulation. Now, so if you're doing this, you're advanced. That much is clear. I'm looking at them right now, and I'm reminding myself that it is important to use a very tiny little screwdriver, because if you use a big screwdriver and turn too hard, you're definitely going to wreck these trim pots. They're not meant to be moved around a ton. You can if you're gentle and careful, but just saying. There are 3 trim pots in here. I'm going to go in order from most exciting to least exciting. Well, that's kind of subjective, but sonically most exciting probably is the bias trim pot. Now, when you're setting, all of these trim pots are specifically configuration for the Rangemaster treble booster. That's it. And the first one is biasing the transistor. And the way we have it set up is probably the most normal spot for it to be. I would say it's an area that designers choose the most for this sort of a thing. And the way that the Rangemaster distorts when it happens is sort of this asymmetrical clipping where like one side of the waveform clips more than the other side. And that's a sound that people like a lot, and I do as well. All of these trim pot manipulations are only for the Rangemaster, not any other part of the pedal. So I'm gonna turn the Rangemaster on, and I'm gonna mess with the bias. This is normal. You get like this little bit of asymmetrical clipping that's like pleasing and nice. And you can get more of that if you want, but you might, if you turn this clockwise, it gets a little crazy at some point. And eventually, you set it so it like turns off, And so the way we had it set originally is sort of the agreed upon, I don't know agreed upon, but it's how most designers would bias a Rangemaster. If you wanted less of that characteristic and just like as much clean headroom as possible, you would turn this control like 9 o'clock. But you can feel free to experiment. I'm gonna put this back in the middle, noon. And again, that's how Rangemasters are designed at the noon setting. But I know y'all like to experiment. I do as well, so that's why I'm telling you. Next up, we have the output for the Rangemaster. And you might remember from earlier in the video that I showed that, there's a bit of a volume jump there. You could turn that counterclockwise, maybe like 9 o'clock, to get that more of like a unity vibe in this sort of context. Like that. On the other hand, if you're a goofball and you want to like make that way louder, then you could change it to like 3 o'clock. And then you're gonna get something like this. A big volume jump there, but it's gonna sound awesome too. So it's really just up to you. I'm gonna put it back in the middle because that kind of is like the, like the Goldilocks zone for me or something. Not too hot, not too cold. The next trimmer, and might be the most exciting if you're a certain type of person, or by far the least exciting, it just adds a little resistance at the front. So right now there's no resistance. It's all the way clockwise. I'm gonna turn it back to like noon. And it just kind of makes it not a Rangemaster. If in this sort of a context where I'm directly connected to the guitar pedal. But if there was a buffer here, that would help to simulate the load of the guitar for the range master. So that's when you would want to dial that trimmer back to about noon. But if you're going to play it and just plug your guitar directly into it, you don't need to mess with that. You can just, and you shouldn't mess with it actually. You should leave it all the way clockwise. And that concludes our advanced section.